Good morning, everybody. Today, let us discuss about the dignity and freedom of the citizens. In democracy, how we have studied that all the people have freedom, equality, all these are provided in a democracy. How the people are getting, or the citizens are getting dignity or respect in the society and freedom also. So we know that democracy stands much superior to any other form of government in promoting dignity and freedom of the individual. We know if there is a monarchy or dictatorship, individual freedom is not given there, and people do not have, or the citizens do not have any fundamental rights. All monarch decides on implements in the country. People have to follow blindly. So promoting dignity and freedom of the individual is an important point in a democracy. So every individual wants to receive respect from the fellow beings, when our friends or society, every person, we need respect. We have to get respect. We all want to receive respect from other people. Often conflicts arise among the individuals because some feel that they are not treated with respect. Some people feel that they are not given any respect by the society or the neighbors or friends. So that conflicts arises between these people. So the passion for respect and freedom are the basis of democracy. It's most important. People get freedom in a democracy. At the same time, they get a respect also, respected by all the people. In democracy, we can find there are no much social differences. Earlier in all the countries of the world existed different caste system or classes. Okay, in France we have studied in the 9th standard, there were 3 estates, first, second, third estates. The common men belonged to the third estate, so the nobles and the clergy, they belonged to the first and second estates. So there were much privileges to the upper classes or upper estates, and lower estates were not dignified, not given any respect also. So democracies we can find throughout the world have recognized the dignity and freedom of the citizens. So at least in the principles of democracy it is clearly mentioned also. Sometimes it may not be properly implemented, but this is clearly mentioned in the principles. So this has been achieved in various degrees of various democracies for societies which have been built for long on the basis of subordination and domination. It's not simple matter to recognize that all individuals are equal. We know that earlier, even in the colonial period also in our country, we know that when the Britishers came to rule us, they felt themselves that dominant, and they considered we are inferior. Indians are inferior and they became superiors and superior race. Such a feeling existed. Even within India in the ancient period we had a caste system. So the upper caste of Brahmanas considered themselves they are belonging to the upper caste and dominant people superiors, and they considered other people are inferiors. So such kind of differences or the diversities existed all over the world, and even in we know that so democracy recognizes this individual freedom. All individuals are all individuals or all citizens are equal, should be dignified and should be provided freedom also. This is important point in a democracy. So take a case of if we are taking the example of dignity of women. Women also were considered all over the world second category citizens, second class citizens, inferior to the men. So most societies also across the world, historically male dominated society. We know that India also male dominated society. Ours is a patriarchal society, that means patriarchal family, that means male domination. Father is the head of the family, or the elder male member is the head of the family. So that long struggles, even women also continuously they struggled against the governments or monarch to get equal freedom and in the society. So some sensitivity today that respect to any equality or equal treatment of women, which is necessary and which ingredients of a democratic society. We should think that equal importance to be given to women also. That is also for the success of democracy very important. Women also should come forward to achieve the success and equal, if they are considered equal to men, and they can gain many things and they can contribute to the society or the nation. We know that many successful women are there, doctors or scientists, even politicians, etc. So such kind of people, they are also, they can utilize their talents for the development of the society. So that it does not mean that women are actually always treated with respect, but once the principle is recognized, it becomes easier for women to wage a struggle against what is now acceptable legally and morally. Now women, if there is a law made, if there is a principle in democracy, we can, the women also can come forward with that policies or with the principle. They should be provided equal respect. If there is no such kind of law, women are not given any importance as per the law, they have no right to struggle against the government also. So in a non-democratic setup, we know that this acceptably would not have legal basis, because the principle of individual freedom and dignity would not have legal and moral force there. In non-democratic setup, in non-democratic countries, or if we are talking about monarchy, there is no importance given to women. As per the law, women are considered inferior. Then women do not have the right to protest against the government. In a democracy, no differences between women and men in case of equality. So such democracies, people or women have the right to go forward or approach the judiciary for getting their rights. So this, the same is true of caste inequalities also. In case of same like the women differences or male dominating society, caste also. There are now, as per the law, caste differences should be abolished or avoided. And democracy in India has strengthened the claims of the disadvantaged and discriminated caste for equal status and equal opportunity. For many centuries, people have struggled to get equal status, whether belonging to people who are belonging to the upper caste and lower caste. The differences existed. Now, as per the law, and as our country has made such a law or enacted such a law that no differences should be made on the basis of the caste of the person or individual or citizen. So that this law is enacted in our country, if any person is ill-treated, being belonging to a low caste, he can approach the judiciary. So this law is not available in many of the non-democratic countries. So there are instances still the caste-based inequalities and atrocities, but these lack the moral and legal foundations. So still, even though there are such kind of law enacted in our country, this occurs many of the regions in our country. So many parts of our country, or especially the northern regions of our India, we can find this kind of discrimination between the upper caste and the lower caste. Still, lower caste people are considered lower and inferior, they are ill-treated. So expectations from democracy also function as the criteria for judging any democratic country. What is most distinctive about democracy is that examination never gets over. We can continuously examine how the democracy is going on, or the functioning of democracy is going on. India being a democratic country, we know that the democratic principles are different, and all the principles of democracy are we following properly, so that we can go through. The citizens have a right to examine the rules or functioning of democracy in our country. So democracy passes one test, it produces other test also. People get some benefits of democracy, they ask for more and more want to make democracy even better. Still now comparing to some of the other countries, India is better. Our democratic policies we are mostly following. In case if they are not functioning, our country is not functioning, our rulers are not functioning according to the rule of democracy, people have a right to question them, so that they may change, or people can agitate constitutionally or democratically. We can agitate against the government and we can make the government to follow all the rules or principles of democracy as it is. So otherwise what can happen? People have the right to elect our leaders. Then in the next election we will remove them completely if we feel, if people or the citizens feel the rulers or this ruling party is not doing any welfare activity for the citizens or people, we will definitely remove them. So the politicians are well aware about this situation, so that often they change their decisions. They often do best way for the people, often rule the country in a better way, so that again they will be elected or re-elected in the next election. So that public expression or the dissatisfaction with the democracy shows that the success of democratic project, it transforms the people from the status of a subject into that of a citizen, not a rule. People are not like subjects under a monarch, they are like the citizens of a nation. When the democratic policies, people agitate against the government or the decision making, or participate in the decision making of the government. If people are dissatisfied, we express our dissatisfaction towards the government, shows the government that we are dissatisfied, so that the government or the politicians change their way, and in order to get again re-elected, they will do many developmental activities for the welfare activities for the people. So that most individuals today believe that their vote makes a difference to the way the government is run and to their own self-interest, so that we feel in our country that we have right to vote. Our vote has value and the government should make differences. So our vote makes differences in a democracy, so that the government can run well and for our own benefit. Okay, not for their own benefit. People, we elect the representative, they rule us for our own benefit. That is what about this chapter. It's over here, and we will start a new lesson in the next class.